Kaylee here from Kaylee Alexandra, and I'm a coach for business owners. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about achieving a better work-life balance whilst running your business. So this is something that lots of my clients struggle with. It's often one of the main areas that clients are looking to improve when they first come to work with me. So here are 4 steps to help you start to really improve that work-life balance moving forward. So the first step, the first thing that you really need to be thinking about is getting some clarity. And this is as simple as, taking a tea break, go and stick the kettle on, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and just sit down and start to think about, what does work-life balance mean to you? Because it's something that, it's a term that's thrown around, but it's something that's completely individual to each and every person, each and every business owner. So actually, when you're talking about work-life balance, what does that mean to you? What do you want your lifestyle to look like? Start to kind of list some bullet points. As I said, pen and paper is great for this, and do a little bit of lifestyle design. So start to think about what you want your lifestyle to look like. What hours do you want to work? What working pattern do you want to have? How much time off do you want to take? What is it that's going to feel right for you? And really, that clarity is an essential first step, because until you're clear on that, it's really hard to start taking action steps towards making it happen. And this is something that you might not get it on the first attempt. It may take a couple of tea breaks spread out across a week or a fortnight. It might be something that you put down on paper on the first day, and then you just leave it for a few days, and you come back and you let it sit and mellow, and you check. When you come back, you can check that it still feels right for you. And chances are, as you move through your business journey, it's something that will be constantly evolving. So that's the first step, really, is to just sit down, take some time, get really clear on what work-life balance means to you and what you're aiming at. And from there, then the second step is to start to set some boundaries. It's all too easy, as we're growing businesses, as they're scaling up and they're getting bigger, they tend to take on a life of their own. And it's really easy to allow our businesses to dictate our lifestyles to us, and to suddenly find that you're still working at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning to fulfill client orders. So setting boundaries is actually a really key first step towards getting that work-life balance right. There's a law called Parkinson's Law, which effectively states that a task will expand or contract to fill the time available. And one of the big issues with particularly smaller business owners as they're starting out on that journey is they don't set boundaries. And what that means is, if you are kind of theoretically saying that it's okay for business to take 12 hours out of your day, 18 hours out of your day, 21 hours out of your day, then the tasks that you have will expand to take 18 hours or 21 hours or whatever it is. And actually, just by taking that first step of setting a boundary, deciding what time you're going to start work, deciding what time you're going to finish work, and sticking to that and being really clear about that, will force you to up your levels of productivity. It will force you to work a little bit faster, a little bit smarter, to make sure that you get the same amount done, but in a shorter amount of time, which means that you can then start to clock off at a certain time and switch off. And again, get that first step back towards reclaiming that work-life balance. So that's step number 2, is just start to set some boundaries. And that can be as simple as first steps of what time, deciding what time you're going to finish work today and sticking to it, and deciding what time you're going to start work tomorrow and sticking to it, not checking your emails whilst you're eating your breakfast before you get in the office, not answering phone calls at 10 o'clock at night when you said you were going to finish at 7 or 6 or whatever it is. So that's step number 2, setting some boundaries. And then the third step that I want you to start thinking about is just taking some baby steps, starting to test some of those things. So from step 1, when we got that clarity, you started to build up that picture of what you were aiming at, starting to look at how you can take some real baby steps towards making that happen right now. And that could be, if you said that you want to work part-time, it might be looking at your calendar for the next fortnight and looking at where you could take just an afternoon off, or even finishing mid-afternoon to get a few hours off. Just that first baby step towards testing it. Maybe taking a longer lunch break, maybe looking at where you could get a weekend off, so kind of completely switching off and disconnecting from your business from 5 5 o'clock on a Friday night through until 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. But just looking for those little baby steps, just to start to test it, to start to improve your work-life balance straight away, and start to prove to yourself that that you can do it and that it can be done. And just edging ever closer to those goals that you set yourself of what you want your work-life balance to look like. And taking some of these baby steps is gonna feel really scary at first. It's something that all business owners go through. I went through it in my business. My clients, almost all of them go through it. That first time of stepping away from your business, of starting to take back a bit of control, feels really scary. That the phone's gonna ring and you're gonna miss a really big important client, or you're gonna lose out on a sale. But actually the reality is, for 99.9% of you, the world is not going to end because you disconnected from your business for an evening or a weekend, or even a week's holiday. For most sales inquiries, if they're interested in working with you, are still going to be there when you check back in with your voicemails, and you can get back to them the following day. So it's something that it always feels scary. That's completely natural. But the great thing about starting to take these baby steps is it's also going to force you to move your business to the next level. It's going to force you to look at how productive you're being in the time that you are there. It's going to force you to look at what systems you have in place, what systems you need to put in place to start to make these things happen. And by taking baby steps, it means you're not going to leap straight into needing full-blown systems or a massive team of people around you. But it's going to you're going to start to make those changes. You're going to start to look at, okay, well actually, if I'm going to take this afternoon off, I need to have this, and this in place. And those are really great first steps towards achieving those goals that you want to achieve, towards getting your work-life balance right. And without taking those steps, you're never going to feel that pain point, feel that pressure point that is going to force you to make those changes and level things, take things up to the next level in the business. So that's step 3, is to just start taking some baby steps, start testing some of these things out. And the 4th and final step, which really kind of just backs up the 2nd and the 3rd, is to make some plans, is to actually go out and make plans with friends and family, with to go and do something specific, to go and do a new hobby, or to go out for the evening, because all too often we'll make these commitments to ourselves, and then we're all too willing to break them. It's really easy, we've all done it. We'll say, oh yeah, I'm going to finish at 6 o'clock tonight, and suddenly you realise it's 8:30 and you're still sat at your desk. We often struggle to keep our commitments to ourselves. So actually, by involving other people in those commitments, by saying, okay, I'm going to go and meet so-and-so for a drink, or we're going to go to the cinema and I have to be there at 6:30 or at 7, it will force you to leave your office, because we are so much more likely to uphold commitments to other people than we are to ourselves. So that's really just another tip to help you stick to those boundaries and to help you start to take those baby steps, is to make a commitment to some other people around you, whether that's friends, whether that's family, whether that's even, as I say, just trying out some new activities, booking in for something, for a paid class, or for an evening's activity or something. That's going to help you to stick to all of those resolutions that you're making, and help you to start really living that work-life balance that you set out to achieve. So that's it. Those are my four steps to help you start improving your work-life balance right now. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, so please post your thoughts in the comments below. If you tried any of them out, I'd love to hear how you're getting on. And of course, if you want to reach out and connect with me, my details will be below in the description as well. Cheers guys, bye.